You wake up in the morning, and even before you've opened your eyes, the ache is already there, not just in one place, but everywhere. Your arms feel heavy. Your knees protest. Even your skin feels like it's been through something. And the truth is, it has. Because when you're living with fibromyalgia or any chronic illness that doesn't just go away, you're not just dealing with pain. You're dealing with unpredictability, with frustration, with invisible battles most people around you will never see. But I want to tell you something important right now. There is a way to live better. Even when you're living alone. Even when your energy isn't what it used to be. And today, we're going to walk through it together. You're going to hear stories from people just like you. You're going to learn what helps and why it helps. And by the end of this, I hope you'll have something stronger than just a list of tips. I hope you'll have hope. And a plan. Let's start with something simple. But powerful. Let other people in, even if just a little. When you live with fibromyalgia, it's easy to pull back from people. Maybe you're tired of explaining what hurts. Maybe you've heard too many times, but you don't look sick. Sandra, 68, told me she stopped going to her knitting group because she felt embarrassed about canceling last minute when the pain flared up. It just felt easier to stay home, she said. But the more she isolated herself, the worse everything got: the fatigue, the sadness, the fear. There's something about human connection that softens the sharp edges of pain. It doesn't cure it, of course. But it changes how we carry it. So if you've been keeping things to yourself, I want to gently challenge you. Reach out to one person. Someone who listens. Someone who won't try to fix you, but just walk beside you. That connection might be the most healing part of your day. Keep moving, but in a way that loves your body. Now I know, the last thing you want to hear when your body is screaming is, try moving more. But bear with me. I'm not talking about pushing through pain. I'm talking about moving with kindness. Moving smart. Fibromyalgia responds well to gentle, regular movement. Think Tai Chi, think stretching in your living room. Even short walks can signal to your nervous system, hey, we're okay. We're not in danger. Roy, 73, told me he started doing slow motion dancing in his kitchen every morning. It started as a joke, he laughed. But somehow it woke me up better than coffee. What matters isn't how far you go or how long you do it. What matters is consistency. A little, every day. Like brushing your teeth. And if one day all you can do is wiggle your toes in bed, start there. That counts too. Speak honestly even when it's hard. Fibromyalgia is invisible. And that can be one of the cruelest parts. People may think you're exaggerating. Or being lazy. And even those who love you, they might just not get it. But hiding your reality doesn't protect them. It only hurts you. So speak up. Not with drama. Not with guilt. But with truth. Joan, who's 66, told her daughter one afternoon, "Sweetheart, when I cancel lunch last minute, I'm not flaking out. I'm surviving." And something changed after that. There was more compassion. More space. When people don't understand, it's often because we never gave them the chance to. Get curious about your food, not obsessed. Now this one isn't about some miracle diet or cutting everything fun out of your life. But here's the thing. Some people with fibromyalgia do notice certain foods trigger flare-ups. And others find that eating more anti-inflammatory foods like leafy greens, berries, or salmon gives them more steady energy. There's no one-size-fits-all. But keeping a little journal, even just for a couple weeks, might help you spot patterns. Maybe you feel more foggy after sugar. Or more stiff after processed foods. Maybe you don't. But wouldn't it be worth knowing? Ellen, who lives alone at 72, told me she never realized how much caffeine was affecting her sleep until she tracked it for a week. She didn't give up coffee, but she moved it earlier in the day. Small change. Big difference. Don't be afraid to explore complementary therapies. Let's talk about the things that live outside the standard medical world. Massage. Acupuncture. Gentle bodywork. Guided relaxation. Not magic. But for some, very real relief. Now, not every method works for every person. And yes, money and access can be barriers. But even free options like guided relaxation on YouTube or light self-massage at home can calm the nervous system. James, 75, told me he listens to ocean sounds every afternoon while lying on a heated mat. It's like my reset button, he said. It doesn't fix everything, but it resets my nervous system. That matters. Remember, your nervous system is already working overtime. Anything you do that signals safe, calm, held, that's medicine too. There is no one right way. Only your way. This one's important. If you've tried a method and it didn't work, that doesn't mean you failed. It just means your body didn't respond to that path. Fibromyalgia isn't a formula to be solved. It's a condition to be lived with day by day, with grace, curiosity, and patience. We are all built differently. What works for your neighbor may not work for you. What worked last year might not help this year. Give yourself permission to change, to evolve, to say, that worked for a while. Now I need something else. And if you're thinking, but I don't know what to try anymore, you don't need to know everything. You just need to try the next kind thing. One thing. Today. Let's pause here. Because what we've covered so far, it's a lot. And it matters. But there's still more I want to share with you. In the next part, we'll go even deeper. You'll hear about the mental shifts that make the biggest difference, the surprising power of gratitude, and how to rebuild a meaningful life when the one you had feels like it slipped away. And we'll do it the same way we've done this. Gently. Honestly. Together. Let's pick up right where we left off. Because after the physical pain, the hardest part about living with fibromyalgia or any long-term illness isn't just what happens to your body. It's what happens to your mind. Your sense of identity. Your purpose. Your plans for the life you thought you'd be living right now. And that's where we're going next. Grieve what was so you can build what is. I know, nobody talks about grief when we talk about chronic illness. But we should. Because when you can't do the things you used to love, when you can't move the way you used to move, or show up the way you used to, there's a loss there. A real one. And it's okay to name it. Phyllis, 69, used to hike every weekend before the pain took over. At first, she tried to force herself through it. Then she gave up entirely. But it wasn't until she let herself cry over what she'd lost, really cry, not brush it off, that something opened up. I realized I was still here, she told me. Still breathing. Still capable of joy. I just had to find it in a new place. Grieving doesn't mean giving up. It means making space for something new to grow. Practice gratitude even in the hard moments. Now, I know gratitude sounds like one of those words people throw around too easily. But I don't mean the kind of gratitude where you pretend everything's fine. I mean the kind where, even in the middle of a rough day, you find one small thing to hold on to. It might be the way the sunlight hits your window in the afternoon, or the way your dog rests its head on your lap, or the fact that you made it through the night, and you're here to try again today. Charles, 74, keeps a tiny notebook by his bed. Every night, he writes down 3 things that didn't go wrong. Not amazing things. Just, not terrible ones. No fever. No plumbing leak. Didn't forget to take my meds. That's his list some days. And he says it keeps him grounded. Gratitude isn't about being cheerful. It's about noticing what's still holding you up when so much feels like it's falling apart. Don't wait for motivation. Create rhythm. This one might surprise you. But if you're waiting for motivation to show up before you act, you might be waiting a long time. What helps more, especially with fibrofog or fatigue, is rhythm. Routine. Anchors in your day that don't require you to feel like it to do them. Lucy, 71, told me she brushes her teeth, drinks a glass of water, and stretches for 90 seconds every single morning, no matter what. It's not heroic. It's not impressive. But it's a rhythm that reminds her, I'm still in charge of something. Try building small rituals into your day. A morning stretch. An evening foot soak. A cup of tea at 3 p.m. on the dot. Your brain craves rhythm. And rhythm makes life feel more manageable. Redesign your life, not just endure it. Living with a chronic illness isn't just about surviving. It's about reimagining. asking, what still brings me joy? What new joys can I discover? Maybe you used to love gardening but can't kneel anymore. Could you try container plants on a patio, or even herbs on a windowsill? Maybe long conversations wear you out now. Could you write short letters or voice messages instead? What matters is that you stop measuring your life against how it used to be, and start building it for who you are today. This part takes creativity, and it takes courage. But I promise you, there's more available to you than just coping. There's meaning. There's purpose. Still, learn from your own experience like a scientist of your own body. Doctors have textbooks, but you have something they don't. A day-by-day record of how your own body responds, adapts, and changes. Become a student of yourself. Start noticing. What makes you feel more tired? What helps you sleep better? What foods feel gentle on your system? Which ones trigger brain fog? You don't have to get it perfect. But the more you learn, the more power you have. And if you journal even just short notes once a day, you might be surprised at the patterns you start to see. Be kind to yourself. But also be curious. Your body's always giving you information. The question is, are you listening? And finally, give yourself credit. I want to end with this. Because no matter how your day looks right now, you've made it this far. You've gotten through the unknown, the scary nights, the bad weeks, the tears in the dark. You've learned things. You've adapted. You've found ways to live even on the days it didn't feel like living. And that matters. Maybe no one else sees how hard you're working just to get through a simple Tuesday. But I do. And I hope now, you do too. You're not weak. You're not complaining too much. You're not failing. You're doing something incredibly brave. You're learning how to live again inside a body that doesn't always follow the rules. That deserves respect. That deserves compassion. And most of all, that deserves support. So before we wrap up this video, let me ask you, what has helped you the most in managing fibromyalgia or any chronic illness after 60? Was it something small that no one else would understand? Was it a shift in mindset? A product? A practice? A person? I'd love to hear your story in the comments. Because chances are, someone else reading this needs to hear exactly what you've discovered. If this video brought you comfort or clarity, take a moment to give it a thumbs up. It really does help more older adults find this message. And if you know someone living alone with a chronic illness, please, consider sharing this with them. You never know the difference that one video might make. And don't forget to subscribe for more thoughtful, gentle, and practical conversations made just for you. You're not alone in this. We're walking this path together. And every step counts.